Hello everyone, my name is Greg Cant and I have the privilege of serving as the President of Wilkes University. I'm very pleased to be able to take you on a tour of campus today. During our time together, I look forward to introducing you to some of our most outstanding and brightest young students, telling you about the history of our buildings and showing you what's happening on a typical day on campus. When I first visited Wilkes, I was immediately struck by the beauty of the campus and the natural resources found in the surrounding region. Since moving to the President's House on West River Street, I've found great enjoyment learning about the rich history of the Wilkes campus and exploring all that Northeast Pennsylvania has to offer. The next stop on our tour is Walla Hall, which is located just next door to the President's House. While physically one building, Walla Hall is divided into two halves to create two smaller communities. Like many of the mansion-style residence halls at Wilkes, Walla features many original details like fireplaces, light fitting and bullseye glass, along with modern conveniences. LJ Meehan, a sophomore who lived in Walla Hall, will tell us more about Walla's history.
The home at 36 West River Street, known as Walla North, was originally purchased by Wilkes University in 1964. The residence hall was named after Charles Waller, a chairman of the university's board of trustees. The connecting building, 40 West River Street, was still the home of Mrs. Charles Waller and could not become part of the university until 1983.
Now let's head over to our next stop, the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center for the Performing Arts. I'm here in Geese Hall in the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center with members of the university choir. The pandemic hasn't slowed down the students, faculty and staff of the Department of Visual and Performing Arts. Let's head into the Darling Theatre and Caitlin Klinger, a senior sports management major and former member of the university choir, will tell us more about the building.
The Center for Performing Arts at Wilkes opened in 1965 and was dedicated in memory of Dorothy Dixon Dart, a longtime trustee and supporter of Wilkes. 4 years later, a two-story building was added to the center, which then became known as the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center for the Performing Arts. In addition to the 478-seat Darling Theatre, the facility also includes a black box theater, numerous rehearsal spaces, and a dance studio.
Kirby Hall's numerous uses over the years reflect the changing needs of Wilkes. Kirby Hall became the fourth building acquired by the growing Bucknell University Junior College when it was presented by Alan P. Kirby in 1941. Wilkes' roots as Bucknell University Junior College are evident here in the stained glass window on the great stairwell, which bears the Bucknell seal. Wilkes student Cassidy Taylor, a psychology and communication student, will tell us more about the history of Kirby Hall.
Originally, the first floor of Kirby Hall was used by music students, the second floor served as a library, and the third floor was the residence of Dr. and Mrs. Eugene Farley. Eventually, the library expanded to all three floors of Kirby until the Farley Library opened in 1968. In 1992, an extensive renovation project restored the building to its original Victorian style. Now Kirby Hall is the home of the English department at Wilkes.
Thank you, Cassidy. The rear of Kirby Hall connects to the South Campus Gateway. Chase Hall, our admissions office, is next door, and the Fenner Quadrangle stretches ahead. Let's go and meet Richard Ermius, one of our all-star students, at one of the most iconic spots on Wilkes campus, the statue of our namesake, John Wilkes.
The John Wilkes statue was installed in 1995 and is an exact replica of the one that stands on Fetter Lane in London, England. Though John Wilkes never stepped foot in North America, he was still a hero to American colonists for his radical support of liberty and freedom of the press in England. Now back to you, Dr. Cant.
Thanks, Richard. Our cheerleaders are here to celebrate while practicing their social distancing. I'm going to head over to our next stop, Stark Learning Centre.
Go Wilkes!
Stark Learning Centre, the university's largest academic building, is home to the Mark Engineering Centre, Passon School of Nursing and the Nesbitt School of Pharmacy. Located in the centre of the building is the open-air Melberger Courtyard. Stephanie Hauser and Riley Smith, who are in their 4th year of the 6-year pharmacy program at Wilkes, will tell you more about the building's history.
Stark Hall was originally dedicated in 1957 in honor of Admiral Harold R. Stark, the chairman of the Wilkes Board of Trustees, who served as Chief of Naval Operations for the United States Navy when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941.
Wilkes President Eugene Farley received correspondence from both Winston Churchill and Dwight Eisenhower congratulating Wilkes on dedicating the building in honor of Admiral Stark.
Stark Hall housed the sciences and became Stark Learning Center in 1975 after a series of expansions. In 2018, the Mark Engineering Center opened, dramatically enhancing the university's engineering capabilities. Now, Dr. Cant will tell you about the Cohen Science Center, which is connected to Stark.
Here we are on the 4th floor of the Lawrence and Sally Cohen Science Centre, which was opened in 2013. It offers state-of-the-art laboratories for students in biology, health science, chemistry, biochemistry, environmental engineering and earth science. And as you can see, an amazing view of the River Commons and the Susquehanna River. Kevin Long, a senior biology major and president of student government, will tell us more about the research that takes place here in Cohen.
Here at Wilkes, undergraduate students like me have a chance to work alongside talented faculty members to conduct research. These opportunities, paired with state-of-the-art facilities in the Cohen Science Center, make Wilkes an excellent option for students interested in the sciences. Back to you, Dr. Cant.
In 2016, Wilkes opened the Carabellis East Campus Gateway, which was the first in a series of enhancements that made our campus safer and more attractive. Walla Hall, one of the most magnificent buildings on our campus, is just behind me. My friend Juan is inside and he'll tell us more about the building.
Walla Hall was built between 1914 and 1916 as a home of Frederick and Anna Wexler. The building was acquired by Wilkes in 1956 and was used initially as administrative offices before eventually becoming a female residence hall. Many original details like the grandfather clock, light fixtures, and even some of the furniture are still here today. And here's a little known fact. The annex behind the building was the Wexler's garage. They installed a turnstile in the floor of the garage so their cars never had to be backed up.
All of Wilkes presidents, including me, have been fortunate enough to have an office in this building. Isn't it spectacular? Here in my office, I have this amazing piece of artwork that depicts a young Gene Farley. It was actually presented by the Weckerses in 1944. You'll recall that Wilkes started in the Great Depression and this painting was presented towards the end of the Second World War. What I love about this painting is the youth that it depicts, the opportunity and the possibilities. A young man, striking blue eyes and a great future in front of him, which is what we've done ever since. Wilkes has always been about possibilities. Now let's make our way to the Sidoni Art Gallery. Welcome to the Sidoni Art Gallery. When the Art Gallery relocated to 141 South Main Street in 2017, it brought the visual arts to the forefront of the campus and the community. On a personal note, this will always be important to me because this is where I was first introduced to the Wilkes community. Dasha, why don't you tell us some more?
In just the 3 years since its opening, the Sidoni Gallery has displayed works by Andy Warhol, N.C. Wyeth, Pete Sousa, and others. The current show, Drawn to Abstraction, features works on paper by leading artists in pop art and abstract expressionism. For instance, you can check out works by Rauschenberg, Lichtenstein, and Frankenthaler, and our How It's Made display at the rear of the gallery.
141 South Main Street is also home to the Caraballas Communication Centre, where our Communication Studies Department is located. This state-of-the-art facility offers a TV station, radio station, viewing room and instructional spaces. Taken over the radio station, and from now on we're going to play nothing but Midnight Oil. Here we are at Ralston Athletic Complex, home of the field competition at Wilkes. Wilkes offers 23 NCAA sports to our more than 500 student athletes. Neve Harkins, a senior business management, marketing major and a member of the women's soccer team, will tell us a little bit about the history of this complex.
Wilkes acquired the land from a local farmer and the Glen Alden Coal Company in the 1960s. What started off as a single playing field has expanded to include the Bruggerworth Field, Schmidt Stadium, the Munson Fieldhouse, a softball field, and tennis courts. The complex honors George Ralston, a longtime dean of students and the father of Wilkes athletics.
Thank you very much for joining me on the tour of the Wilkes campus. I can't wait to be able to share this with you in person at some time soon. Until then, my very best, stay safe and be Colonel.